Hi, welcome to today's video. My name is Paul. So this week, well, anybody who supports me on Patreon will know that I have been obsessed with these Derwent XL blocks. If you watched last week's video, you'll have seen me using them, so you'll know what I'm talking about. They're just these blocks of charcoal. Some of them are charcoal, some of them are graphite, and they're made by a company called Derwent. But anyway, like I say, I've been using them pretty much every day for the last week to do some landscape drawing and sketching. Most days, pretty much most days, I'll do about 2 hours at least of drawing and or painting practice. I usually don't record those sessions because it's kind of private time for me. It's a chance for me to practice drawing, practice painting, build up my experience and my ability as an artist. So I don't usually record those. Recording them would just, it'd be kind of a unnecessary extra pressure. But this week I woke up on the Wednesday morning and I realized that I had absolutely nothing recorded or prepared for this week's YouTube video. Usually by the Tuesday or even the Monday, I have everything recorded, edited, I've done the voiceover and I've uploaded everything onto YouTube, and it's all scheduled and ready for release on the Saturday. So then the rest of the week I can get on with doing other things and I don't have to worry about YouTube. But this week, like I say, middle of the week, and I still have nothing prepared, and I don't even know what I want to talk about this week. In fact, what is it, about 2 minutes into this video already, and the video narration, and I still don't know what I'm going to talk about in this video. So it could end up being the most disjointed, rambly video that I've ever produced on YouTube, but we'll see at the end if there's any sort of cohesion appears. I also threw in this video that I made yesterday, just a wee short bit, just the sky. One of the things I mentioned in last week's video was these Derwent blocks are quite good for the muted colors that they have, are quite good for the colors that I can see in my part of the world at this time of the year, in the sky and the trees and things. And you can see in the sky there's this sort of earthy yellow color. There's blues and greys in there as well, which we often associate with the sky, but we don't often think of sort of earthy yellow color in the sky. So it's a kind of a reminder to me as well that, you know, I don't work from references or life. I just work from memory and imagination. But really I should get outside at least occasionally and look at the sky, look at the grass, the trees, and make a note of the different colors that do appear there. And sometimes it can surprise us, the colors that nature throws at us from different, like the sky or the trees or something. Anyway, getting back to these drawings, as I say, this video is just the first 10 minutes or so of one of these drawing sessions that I do every day. So there's nothing scripted, there's nothing special about it. It is just me turning on the video camera and getting on with what I would usually do. And you saw in that first painting, or first drawing I should say, it was very loose, to the point where it's not even immediately obvious that it's a landscape. Maybe if you squinted your eyes, stood back a bit and used a bit of imagination, it might sort of look like a landscape. But it was just making marks on a piece of paper, really. I think it was Cézanne who said something like, when you're confronted with a blank canvas, it can be a frightening thing, or even a terrifying thing. I don't know if it's terrifying, but it can certainly be off-putting, because you have this canvas or piece of paper, whatever you're working with, and you're thinking in your head, well, I have to produce a wonderful piece of art. And then, of course, that puts pressure on you right from the start. And, you know, if you let it get out of control, it can even spoil the whole doing art thing. So with these drawing sessions, what I do, I sort of build up. The first few drawings that I do, it is just making a few marks. It's just doing whatever. It's just having fun, just making marks on a piece of paper. And if it looks good, that's fine. And if it doesn't look good, that's fine as well. In fact, with this drawing that I'm doing at the moment, if you're watching the video, you may have seen me at the beginning just wiping my hands on the piece of paper. I had, from the first drawing, my hands were covered in charcoal and graphite. So rather than going and washing them, I just decided to wipe them on this piece of paper. It turns the pristine piece of paper into something that's a bit messy, and there's something inside my head then that says, well, then it's okay for me to just start making marks. Whatever, just see what happens. And maybe, as I've said, this video could be a bit disjointed, but maybe if there's any sort of message, it is that art has to be fun, I think, or should be fun. And sometimes that means just sort of letting go and not worrying if, the final results are good or bad. Just enjoying the process sometimes. Just making marks and see what happens. And anyway, it's all just subjective. If people like something or don't like something, it is just purely subjective. So don't worry too much about it. I suppose I just quickly mention the other materials. If you watch these videos regularly, you'll know, but I use a kneaded eraser just to do a bit of extra mark making on the paper. And I use a piece of tissue paper just for smudging some of the charcoal and the graphite. So these are the two finished drawings. I'm using the word drawing pretty loosely, but the one on the left was the first one, and as you can see, it is very, very loose. But it was fun making it, and it's 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes at the most. It's kind of like if you've ever done life drawing, you often start a life drawing session with a bit of gesture drawing. It's just very quick mark making on the paper. It's that sort of idea. It's getting warmed up and things. Then the second drawing, the one on the right, you can see it's a little bit tighter, a bit more controlled. There's still a lot of errors and mistakes in it, but it's moving in the right direction maybe. But anyway, as I say, maybe if there's any message from this video, it is sometimes we just need to get started. Just make a few marks on the piece of paper, not worry too much about the final results. I say it's like gesture drawing maybe for people who have done any life drawing in the past. You're trying to capture the overall feeling of the subject that you're drawing, rather than trying to get details and things like that. Anyway, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in next week's video.